I decided to study at MMU because I wanted to live in Manchester. I did my undergraduate in Sheffield and wanted to live in another city. I've always loved coming to Manchester. And then I looked around at different law schools, and MMU kind of felt most friendly, and the fees also lower than other places. I had quite an unusual path. I started doing biology. I did a combined bachelor's and master's in Sheffield, and while I was doing my master's I worked for a consultancy and worked alongside some lawyers and thought, that's for me. I'm working for a recruitment agency, so I'm doing all of their legal advice, so I'm an in-house paralegal, and it's going really well. 2 weeks in the job, feel like I've been there 2 years. I use the skills that I learnt on my postgraduate courses in my current role at the recruitment agency by drafting contracts. That was a major part of the course, and I do that every day, interpreting law, putting it into practice, putting a commercial spin on the legal studies that we went through, and the LPC is perfect preparation for that. My future plans are to stay with the recruitment agency for 6 to 12 months, get some experience, and keep applying for training contracts with law firms, and hopefully secure a training contract in the next couple of years, and then go on to train to be a solicitor. The links that MMU have with the local law community is really useful because they know about the jobs that are coming up before they go out onto the open market, and also they have really good pro bono opportunities, which if you take advantage of them you can do really good networking experiences, and yeah, it's invaluable. My favourite pro bono work with MMU was with an organisation called Inner Space. So it's run by MMU and they call it an entrepreneurial incubator. It's where lots of entrepreneurs base themselves in the city centre so they can do networking opportunities. And so we work alongside one of the firms in the city to offer them low-cost legal advice because they're start-up businesses, and that experience working alongside businesses so closely was invaluable. The staff are really approachable. They all went through practicing as a lawyer before they came to teach, and you can tell because they're really down to earth, they know what they're talking about, and most of the stuff you learn isn't in the books, it's from them, it's from their experience, their practical experience. The advantage of being taught by staff with commercial law experience is great because they can explain how the law is put into practice. So it's not enough just to know the law and what it is, you need to be able to explain it to a client in layman's terms, and them having that experience is so advantageous because they pass it all on to you. Here at the law school there's an individual legal careers advisor, and their experience of the marketplace is so well developed that they pass all of the links on to you, and they understand what the firms are looking for in your CVs and covering letters, and they'll spend lots of time helping you out with them. Having the courtroom resources are really good fun because you get to take part in mooting competitions, which I did last year. And even though I did get beat by the barristers, I had really good fun doing it, and you have to have that experience of advocacy even if you want to go into non-contentious work. The most challenging thing about the GDL is that if you've not done law before, which you won't if you've done the GDL, it's learning all the terminology and all of the nuances of law which you wouldn't even be able to guess at. You have to learn it, and you have to learn it in 9 months, and it is massively rewarding because you do learn so much so quickly, and you look back after 9 months and go, wow, like I know all this stuff now. I know how to interpret all of this Latin and terminology. The LPC is really rewarding because it puts into practice all of the hours of studying academic law. You understand why the law is the way it is and how you can put it into practice and apply it in everyday situations. And I think the most rewarding thing about the LPC is the skills that you learn. So interviewing, writing, advocacy, drafting, they seem so alien when you start off doing it, and then you pick up really, really quickly with the support of the tutors, and when you succeed at the end, it's really rewarding. One of the main reasons that I chose to study at MMU is because it's lower cost than some of the commercial law schools, and I don't think you lose out at all by being at university, and I think in that way it is really good value for money, because you have all the resources you need and you're in the city centre. I can't see why you would spend £3 more on a commercial law school. If you're thinking of doing a GDL and LPC, really think about whether that's what you want to do in the long term, because once you've invested that much time and money, it's very difficult to go back. And the law firms will know if you're not committed. So I think take some time and really think about whether it's what you want and whether you're going to get value for money out of it, because it's difficult being a postgraduate, because you'll see all of your friends going off and getting well-paid jobs while you're stuck still studying, which is fine because it will pay off in the long run, but you need to make sure that you're invested in it. This is going to sound very strange, but my favourite part of the LPC were the exams, because it's when everything comes together, because you realise that 50% of the marks are for learning what it says in the book, 50% of the marks are for interpreting it and applying it, and you can't just read a book and learn that, so you realise how much you've actually learned and grown as a lawyer. I would recommend doing postgraduate law study because the rewards at the end can be so great, and not just getting a well-paid job in the city, being able to do a job that challenges you every day and is so varied, and you get to work with amazing professionals and clients as well. And it's so varied, the world of law, that it can suit any personality. So I would recommend going into it